wondered if you could tell me briefly about your past history in sourcing angel investment.
Sure. We started, obviously, the usual way, the hard way. We came up with an idea and we had the friends, family and fools involved. So we did it really from the ground up. We were quite fortunate in so much as where we are here in the UK, we're based in a city called Canterbury, which is in the southeast county of Kent.
Yes.
And Kent University has a enterprise hub that gives facilities to potentially high growth companies, startups, very, very cheap, office space, the environment that they can actually be on campus. We have on campus, we were able to hire developers straight from graduation. So it was quite a neat little space to come to. I only found out about it accidentally, but that's
wow.
So I think this is something I'm going to touch upon later about how we don't know what's going on. We fitted the criteria, and as a result, other institutions that are kind of suited to our needs came to know about us. So we were then approached by an organisation called Innovation and Growth, and it's part of a government-backed initiative that helps very high growth, potentially high growth startups to reach the right angel investors initially.
Right.
We went on the radar of these guys back in sort of September, October time, and then we got angel investment earlier this year, round one really. So we're now gearing up for round two, because part of the process is now that we push forward. We've got our pilots going, we've got our systems have been tested, and we're now going out into market, which now makes us ripe for round two, and then eventually we are going to VC. But it's if I hadn't found this little particular hub and hadn't been approached, I think that we would have been dead in the water by now. Really,
you would have slipped through the cracks.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how great your idea is.
Yeah.
This is something that I feel quite passionately about here in the UK.
Yes.
We do not have the infrastructure. We don't have the mentality. We don't have the startup mentality. I'm going to say something quite sacrilegious. as much as we think we do, and we are set up for this, even down to the investors that you're meeting with, they don't understand the startup environment, really.
I agree, because I was doing all of that years ago in London, and totally agree. And particularly, I think the woman piece in those days was definitely a detriment to me.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, because even now there are a couple of other startups that are associated with the hub down here that are driven by women. And look around, and in the nicest possible way, all my developers are guys, all my investors are guys, people I'm meeting are guys, and I'm just thinking, I want to be a successful person in what I'm doing, but I do wonder, well, where are the other women?
Yes,
where
that's
are
a good question.
Yeah. So
well, we are combing the undergrowth now and trying to get them to all come out and show their faces.
It would be good. It would be
good.
I think that I do think that there are different pressures on women.
Yes,
in
definitely.
Business, and I'm not suggesting it's because I think sometimes we have to. It sounds really not. I'm not trying to sound like a victim, because I don't believe in that victim mentality. But I do think that we have to prove ourselves that little bit more.
Yes, I agree. And many people say the same thing. And so what attitudes towards you being female have you noted from angel investors when you've been raising capital?
I think I'm very much I'm an unknown, as it were, because I don't think the people who invest in companies in this area, it's usually a male run company. I think I genuinely think that I'm a rare creature. I'm the CEO of a technology company that's got angel investment in the UK.
Yes.
And I think that the percentage of companies that actually reach the stage that we're at.
Yes.
And if you strip away the fact that it's run by a woman.
Yes.
I think that I'm quite unusual, and I'm very lucky in the fact that my investors don't see it any differently, but I think that,
Great.
I am unusual in this environment.
Okay,
And I certainly feel it when I'm looking at other, you do background checks, don't you, on other companies that are coming up and things like that. And you just see it's men.
Yes.
But
So what qualities do you think women entrepreneurs need specifically for sourcing angel investment then, after your hard-won experience?
I would like to say the same as a male. I'd like to say that they have the passion, the drive, the commitment, the idea, the tenacity. I do think that there is a difference in, without trying to get too much, men are from Mars, women are from Venus, all of that, but I do think that women have a particularly different approach to business.
Yes.
I don't want to play by the men's rules because it doesn't suit me to play by the men's rules, but I want to play by my rules.
Yes.
But I think that women, unfortunately, are still judged by the mere fact of the fact that they're a woman. And I think you've got to not play that card, I think. I think actually you've got to be even more professional. So I would say be absolutely focused on what you're doing. And also, it's something that I think, I forget where I read it, and I think it was, actually I think it was something that you wrote, or somewhere around that around women are, we tend not to focus so much on the hard sale. We'll try and make something as perfect as possible. And this is what I'm finding with my peers as well, the small number of peers that I have.
Yes.
Whereas I'm trying really now to get my head around the fact that you just get it out there. Speed, get it out there, and worry about whether it's going to, whether it's got the shiny corners later.
Yes.
Just get something out there and do it and lead and don't be afraid. But I think that there are constraints on women, in particular women who actually find that they're in the position to be able to start something of their own. Usually they're later on in their life. It's not the 20-somethings. I came to this later on after many years' experience in working in the field, and I thought this is what I want to do. So I think that there are constraints and conditions that are put on women that will stop them from being able to do this anyway, because they might have families, they might not be in the financial position, because financially you've got to be able to do this. I mean,
you've got to be able to run lean a lot of the time, haven't you?
And be prepared to lose everything.
Yes, exactly. So what I'm hearing is that it's really important to focus on the business per se rather than on the fact that you're a woman and any of those considerations, and also to be a little bit more bold.
I do think that. But however, I think that there are, I don't want to try and say that women are victims, but I do think that there are perceptions about women in business, and I would like to challenge those perceptions. And I think that women do need to collaborate and work together in proving that there is a different way to work than just that I think that we all perceive are the only rules.
Yes, and the great thing about women, if we're going to generalise, is that usually we're good at collaboration and supporting each other. So that's going to certainly stand us in a good stead.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, what percentage of women would qualify then as regards having these qualities that you've identified? Can they be developed? And if so, what are your ideas about how this could happen?
I think looking at my peer group and looking at my friends as well, I think everyone's got, I am a firm believer that everyone's got a book inside them. I think everyone's got the ability to do something. But I think that I happen to have chosen I'm the kind of person that if you're going to do something, do it big.
Yes.
There's no in-between bits. But then I've got other peer groups. One of my friends has set up a bookkeeping company.
Yes.
They're very small, but she's done that off her own back. She trained herself. She got and she's doing that. I think that it's the startup mentality doesn't have to be massive. It just is, I'm going to do something, and I'm going to do something for myself, and I'm going to create something from scratch. We started from literally, it was a A4 piece of paper, an idea on a piece of paper. But it's having that confidence to say, I'm going to give this a go. I'm going to push this forward. So I think that most women have got it in them, and I think I think that it goes in our favour that you go through your 20s, you are establishing who you are, you're working out what your talents are, and you're getting some experience underneath, under your belt.
Yeah.
I think that the age at which women finally realise that they can do something is actually a really good age, because they've got that confidence, and they've got the connections. So I would encourage any woman really to not necessarily take the risks that I've been prepared to take, and I've taken some, to get to this point. It has been a very, very hairy journey, but we're here.
Yeah, I know.
We're all right so far. Ask me in 6 months' time. But I think that for women, I would like to have had a little bit more support, not around hand holding, but just, this is where you can go with this. This is what you can do. And these are legal aspects of doing it as well. The legal, the how to set up a company. Here in the UK, the same rules apply to us as they do to Google. And it's ridiculous. Yes. Personally, we don't get the breaks. We don't get any kind of breaks at all. We have the same tax rules, the same everything, the structure, the same as massive companies. But I would like to impart this information with, I would like to be able to turn around to some women and say, look, this is what you need to do. Yes. And these are the support mechanisms that are in place for you already. Yes. This is how you can do it. I think it's a case that anyone could do this. I just think that it's having the tenacity and the commitment and the door, a little bit of a door opening for you, because we've got to pull each other through.
And so what I'm hearing really is the mentoring and the sharing in your networks and with your colleagues, all of that's really helpful to encourage and to build that confidence in women to give it a shot. Yeah. Sorry?
To interject, I think also women work in a different way to men, and I don't think it's a bad way, and I think that as I'm looking across my not vast office, but I'm looking across my, the three developers here, the three guys. Yes. I think I'm fortunate in that we're all in this together. Yes. I think that I think that there could be some issues around some men don't like taking leadership from women. Yes. I've had this said to me. Yes. And I think that's a really, really to still hear that kind of stuff is really quite negative. Disappointing.
And obviously, I think in the UK and Ireland, where I was based before London, definitely that seems to still be much more prevalent. It's a slower move to the to the current sort of trend of that we're actually all equal.
I think we will get there, but there's a heck of a lot of work, and I could go on. Oh, education. It starts from being a 5-year-old in a school. That's where it starts. Yeah.